When was the last time you had expertise that someone needed, a tool in your hands that could organize it and you did not use it? That restraint is genuinely hard. That is what this conversation asks of you. Hold an evaluation framework while the client works without becoming the expert. Let's be honest about the pull first, because pretending it is not there is how coaches get caught by it. You have studied AI's effect on careers. You may know the transformation patterns, the function-specific data, the augmented versus unaugmented competitor frame. The pull toward consulting is not a character flaw. It is legitimate. You genuinely have useful knowledge. The problem is that the moment a client fills in a framework, everything you know becomes relevant, and it wants to be spoken. Here is where it gets sharp. The tool itself amplifies the temptation. When a client fills in a purpose audit, the framework surfaces structured information, scores, categories, patterns. Everyone is something you know how to interpret. That is the moment the framework turns into a consulting invitation. Your stance determines what happens next. Without the tool, the pull to consult is vague. With the tool, it is concrete. So, how do you catch yourself crossing the line? 3 tells. The first, and most reliable, who is doing the analytical work? Say a client mentions a low AI fluency score. The coach who says that low score means augmented competitors will exploit your gap, that coach just did the analysis. The coach who says, what does that score tell you? Did not. Statements and interpretations mean you are working. Questions that invite the client to work mean you are holding. 2 more tells, both things you can notice mid-session. Tell 2 is the direction of energy. When you lean forward to explain, you are consulting. When the client leans forward to work something out, you are coaching. That is physically observable. Tell 3 is what you respond to. If your next move responds to what you know about AI, that is consulting. If it responds to what the client just said, that is coaching. The framework content is never the subject. The client's thinking about it is. Let me make this concrete with one scenario, run 2 ways. You are coaching a VP of finance doing a purpose audit. She says, most of what I do in financial reporting is in the task column. That seems bad. You know what that means in the market. Version 1. You do not say it. You say, what does that feel like to you? Or, what does the purpose column look like? She does the analysis. Version 2. You say, that is where finance leaders land. The reporting work is automatable, so you need to build the advisory side. Version 2 is accurate. It is also consulting. She may agree with it, but she does not own it the way she would own her own conclusion. Accuracy was never the test. Who did the work is the test. Pause here. In the last coaching conversation where a client faced an AI or career question, where did you cross from coaching into advising? Find the specific moment, a question you answered instead of asked, an interpretation you offered. Then name what pulled you across. The client's uncertainty, your own expertise, the richness of the tool's output. You do not need to answer out loud, but name it. That pull is what this whole unit is about. I want to connect this back by name to Module 5, the mirror, not prescription stance. In Module 5, the framework was the 5-layer trap, and the temptation was to prescribe AI adoption. Here, the framework is a career evaluation tool, and the temptation is to prescribe a career direction. Same discipline, same pool. This is the harder version because when an AI tool surfaces data and scores, the room fills with material, and that makes the pull strong. You mirror. You reflect what the client sees and let them look. You do not prescribe, even when you can. So here is the question you can ask yourself mid-session. Who is doing the work right now? If the answer is you, stop. Ask something. One question shifts the current back. If the answer is the client, stay with them. Resist the pull to add, interpret, or improve. Staying quiet and present is the intervention. This is the in the business on the craft line from Module 1 at the client scale. The coach who takes over the framework has handed the client's own analysis off. Simple to name, hard to hold.